Welcome to Workstyle Stories, because life changes and every life is different. Work needs to respect that. And we're going to be talking this week about escaping the rat race. We're going to talk about commuting, the impact it can have, lots of travel, and prioritizing family time instead. And to talk about all of that, I'm joined by the lovely Kat. Hi, Kat.
Hello.
Welcome to Workstyle Stories. Before we get into your story, would you mind just telling us who you are, where you are, and what you do?
Of course. I'm Katerina Conto Gilbert, easier for everybody, Kat Gilbert.
Yes.
I'm Greek, and I live in North Yorkshire in a small rural village called Sharrow outside Ripon. I've been living here for the last 10 years. Having moved from London, then Greece, then here. And I'm a mother, a carer, a wife, and I work as a brand and campaign consultant on a freelance basis.
Fantastic. I mean, it sounds like an idyllic lifestyle that you've got there. So talk to me about how you got to that. So what was life like? Let's just wind the clock back a little bit. So your kind of the bulk of your formative years of your career and your kind of career before change came about. What was it like? Talk to me about a typical day or a week in the life of Kat.
Well, I started working on the client side or an agency side. So I work for some big international advertising agencies in Athens. Then I moved to London and I did the same thing.
Yeah.
And I worked with some amazing clients, and I worked on some fantastic projects, a lot of great traveling around the world and all that. No children back then, so all it was doable and fun.
Yeah, okay.
Then when I became pregnant, I was offered a great job also in Greece. So we thought it makes more sense with my husband, who is English, to go to Greece.
Okay.
Because the weather is great and the family support and everything was great. So we moved there for 5 years. So I worked still on the agency side. But after a few years, I just thought, okay, maybe I should try the client side, because I've done this and it's great, but there's so much work and there's so many endless nights and new business pitches and it was just too much. And I was missing seeing my young son. So I moved to the client side. And I did that for not that long, because when I started working on this fantastic project, which was to launch a channel in Greece, I was pregnant. And unfortunately, during the launch, I've miscarried. So I lost the child. But that didn't stop me. 3 days after, I was there cracking on with it, because I thought, all these people are relying on me and I have to make this happen. These are massive deadlines and we need to do it. So that burned me out completely. And after that, I just thought, I can't do this. It's just mentally and physically having a massive impact on me. So I took a few months off, well, actually almost a year. And then my second son came very prematurely, 27 weeks gestation. So that was a massive shock for us and it changed our life completely. And this is when I became his carer as well, because all this, the prematurity caused him complex health and educational needs, so he needs support. He's got special abilities, he's brilliant, but he does need someone to care for him more than a parent. So that changed everything. And this is when I moved into the freelancing, because that was the only way I could balance my roles as a mother and as a carer.
So at what point did you move back to Yorkshire then? Was that around that same sort of time?
It was, yes, more or less when Perseus was born. About a year later, we realised that it was very difficult to be in Greece and we needed the support from the health system here. And with my husband being English and his parents being more or less next to where we live now, it just makes perfect sense. So we moved here and slowly things got into place until we realized that we need to get a mortgage to get our own house, because we can't be living with in-laws being 40 years old. So and as a freelancer, you need to have a track record of 3 years, I think, to get a mortgage. So I was offered a fantastic job in Greece, so I ended up commuting from Ripon to Athens, taking a flight on Monday afternoon, being in the office, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday afternoon, take another flight back to Ripon so I could be with the kids. I was always with a stopover, of course, because Ripon, who flies in Ripon?
That sounds incredibly challenging. And actually, in light of everything that everyone's experienced recently through COVID and the widespread acceptance of remote working, that feels like almost unfathomable now. But I'm guessing it wasn't that long ago that you were doing that, and that actually that was pretty normal.
Well, that was about 8 years ago, or 7, 8 years ago.
Okay.
But honestly, I didn't last more than a year. It was less than a year.
Yeah.
I missed my son taking his first steps. I saw all that on Skype, but it was just so. It wasn't right. I mean, it served the purpose.
Yeah.
But it wasn't right, so it had to change.
So that's when you became freelance.
That's when I became freelance. Yes. So
and you did that in order to. Yeah.
Well,
okay. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, yeah. To be available for your second born, right?
Well, I wanted to be there for both of them. It was
important
that I was there for both of them. And with school, I wanted to be there to take them to school or pick them up, be able to do the sports days, their Christmas activities and all that. I didn't want to miss them.
No.
They just happen and they go too quickly and then it's too late. So I made
So freelancing, you chose that. Why did you choose freelancing? Because, did you find that it gave you more control, more flexibility?
I could choose the projects I want to work, and I could choose how I wanted to work. It was not possible to have a flexible job with my son's needs. It had to be something that was more than flexible.
Yes.
So if something happens with his health, I could just say, I can't.
You'd be able to stop. Yeah.
My son's in the hospital. I need to take 5 days, be with him, and that is it.
And I think what you're touching on there, Kat, is a really important distinction between what is flexible working and what is work style. Because very often flexible working is defined as an alternative number of like a pattern of hours whereby you work 9 till 3 each day or whatever, but it's still very much a fixed pattern of hours that you have to adhere to. But in your situation and in many other situations, you actually need more flexibility than that, the ability to determine for yourself and to react to whatever's happening in life and the people closest to you in order to make work fit around that. And that's not a linear thing. That's not something that you can predict. So that's why you went freelance, to give yourself the ability to be able to be more reactive and responsive to what's going on. And so how have you found it, and what's your work style like now?
Well, I'm trying to stay true to a work style, but I think life always comes in the way. So any work style needs to allow for flexibility.
Absolutely. So
if it's fixed, then again, you go back to a pretend flexible work style. So I work around my children's school drop and pick up. So I work between 10 and 2:30, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And I try to keep Friday clear, just to do things for the house, of course, and for the children, and for myself. I find that I need to have space for myself to find myself. And I keep Friday also flexible. So if I need to change my work style, not only because of me, but for other team members' work style, I'm able to do that. Well, maybe swapping the Friday with the Tuesday, or I always make sure the team knows.
Yeah,
I keep it.
I think that's the key thing, isn't it, with work style, is you have to have some sort of framework, in so much as you want to be able to communicate to others when you're going to be working, but equally you want to give yourself the ability to evolve it and to be reactive, particularly in your case. So that's really good advice for anyone who's putting together their work style at the moment. Kat, thank you so much. I'm very sorry we've run out of time. We've been Work Style Stories. Thank you very much indeed, Kat. Kat Gilbert. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.